'Tis me, Ellie. Now, I was due to do the free pattern episode on Friday, just gone on the 29th. But as you know, I had a massive chilblain come up and my hand was all swollen. Thankfully, you can see now it's nearly back and I can knit again. But I have yet to sew up the mitten for the free pattern Friday. So it'll still come out. It'll still be free. It'll just be a little bit later. The crochet cat hat will come out as well. Don't worry. But I came on to say I forgot that I was doing Vlogtober and I recorded some videos and I didn't post them, I'm sorry. And I was sat here watching Nicole Witching in Mama and I was like, oh yeah, it's October already. Time has just gone. It feels like it should still be September. So I thought I'd do a little knitting with you. So today is the 4th of October, which is Wednesday. So I will show you what I've been up to the last 3 days and then continue with today's. So today's episode or video will be sort of a 4-in-1 condensed. Now tomorrow I probably won't get much done as far as videoing or vlogging because I have a hospital appointment and it's going to make me ill, so I'm not sure I'm comfortable sharing that. So I'm stressed, which is why my psoriasis is flared up and my stomach's doing loops and not feeling my best, should we say. But on the topic of not feeling my best, did you guys know that I have a second YouTube channel? It's Luna Knit Witch, so I'll post a link down below in case you want to go and check that one out. But it is more of a honest, real life, what it's like being a knitwear designer, living with all my chronic health conditions. So if you want to go and watch those, that would be great. I started it a couple of years ago and I was sort of told by a few people, don't do it, no one wants to know, you know. So I just kept all the videos private, more of a sort of journal for myself really. But I think that I'm going to start making some of the videos public and allow myself to use that channel more as a way of expressing life. Not shiny, not, you know, all rose tinted glasses side of knitting, but the nitty gritty and yeah, the reality of living in my body and how that affects my life. So yeah. I'm currently trying to finish a test knit for Hohi. This is the Irish Gold cardigan. I have got 2 inches left on the body. I've not been able to knit for about 4 days. But I caught this last night and it's sort of, it made a hole. I was asleep, but I woke up this morning and it was a lot less swollen. So yeah, I can knit again this morning, which is such a relief. So I have got a week to get this cardigan finished and I'm so excited to show you all wearing it. So you'll see me working away on this over Vlogmas. My deadline is the 10th, which is a Tuesday. And I've been doing it very much right, I have to get X amount of rows done today. Because what I do with patterns is once I've got gauge, you know, I go through the pattern and work out how many rows X amount is. So is not this pattern, but say it's sort of knit for 10 inches. I'd work out according to gauge how many rows that is and divide that amount over a reasonable amount of days that wouldn't push me, so I wouldn't hurt my hands, so that I can get it done. And that's how I do all my patterns. So although I can sit and knit a whole sock in a day, you know, and sort of I could crack on and make 3 pairs of socks in a week, on the Sunday when I wouldn't knit, I'd be absolutely shattered, my hands would be hurting, and I wouldn't enjoy it at all. So the most that I will make myself knit a sock in, a single sock, is 4 days. So it would be toe and say 30 rounds, and then it'll be you know, the rest of the foot, the heel, and then the leg. And whether I decide to do that, I've lost my pen, whether I decide to do that over 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever, use my spooky little, he's so cute. I know that I'm not going to strain my hands or lose joy in the process, because knitting is meant to be fun. And when it is your job, like it is mine, obviously I'm doing a test knit right now, but I have several of my own designs on the needles, and I want to be able to look forward to knitting each day as opposed to it being a chore. And I admit some patterns in the past have been, oh, this is getting tough, you know, because I need to make sure that mine are finished, or at least, you know, if it's a jumper, for example, I need to make sure that if it's not completely finished, I've done everything except, say, half a sleeve before I will send out to test knitters and everything else, so that I can reference any questions they have about the pattern to a visual. So yeah, I do need, though, to cast on lots of socks and lots of mitts, because the fact that I've had a chilblain this early in the year is not good. So I need to keep my hands at a consistent temperature. So I'm going to pull some yarns and show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so let's pull some yarns for these socks and gloves that I need to knit. So I have got this one, which, if you're a long time viewer, you'll remember this. It was part of a unicorn set I got. It was a project bag yarn. It was a project bag and yarn by 2 different makers. I can't remember who they were. It was so long ago. And I just wound this into a UFO. So this is going to be a pair of socks. Yes. Originally, I wanted to use this as an edge on a shawl, but this is going to make some fun socks. So pair of socks number 1. And then, let's see. I want to use this one, which is some of my hand dyed. It's in the Wild Flowers colourway. Now, I knit a swatch with this as like a sample for photos, but I've still got 87 grams left. So this one's pink, lilac-y, purple, blue, and this beautiful orange, green words, and sort of turquoisey colour. I think this one's 5. Yeah, this one's a 5 colour. So I want to use that one. I'm not sure if I'll do contrast heels. I don't know. Maybe. And then I'm going to use, I'm at my pre-caked cubes. I mean, I've got things like this, which I've got into 2, but it's only singles, so I won't be using that. I've got this one, which is just a scrap of my Jafraya. It's, well, I say scrap, it's 76 grams. This was my tester skein. So I'll have enough there for a pair of socks. So that's 3. And then I want to get this on the needles. I have had this yarn, I want to say 10 years, 9-10 years. This is from 5 Moons, and it was part of a club that I used to get from her. And she dyes the most beautiful colours. I can't remember what this one is called. It was something to do with earth gems or something along those lines. So like gems you find in the ground sort of thing. But yeah, so that's a full skein. And then for the 5th pair, I'm going to knit my Halloween socks. So these will be the next ones that go on my needle. So this is King Cole Footsie 4-ply. It is acrylic, but it's so Halloweeny, it's cute. So these will be cast on, I might cast these on today. So those are my 5 pairs of socks that I want to do. So let's see if I can show all these at once. There we go. So I want to get all those done by the end of November, before it gets properly cold here. I say cold. That is up to interpretation as to where you live in the world. But I have found that when the weather drops below sort of 16 degrees Celsius, that's when my Renaud's kicks in really hardcore and I get all the chilblains. Doesn't matter if I'm inside or outside. So I don't want any more broken toes from chilblains, because that's happened a lot. So socks, gloves, I am going to knit, let's see, I want to say 3 pairs. I've got my DK weight casting mitts, which is great, and then I've got some fingering weight ones, but I gave those to my daughter Neve, so I need to knit myself a pair of those. I don't know, what colours do you think I should use for gloves? And let me know any pattern recommendations, because I don't just have to knit my own patterns. You know, I am always open to other designers' patterns because I love knitting. So, yes. Okay, so instead of putting up the previous 3 days videos, I will just briefly share purchases that are sort of been made in October. So Abby got me these amazing pens in TK Maxx. They are gel pens, but there's a bat, a pumpkin, and little spooky ghost. Aren't they so cute? See, they're so cute. I love them. So I'm very much I will use one pen till it runs out of a pack, and then I'll move on to the next one. So I've got 40 pens that I've never used, because there's always a new shiny, but I give them to my daughter, I give them to Abby, and eventually I do use them. But these ones are special because it's October. I'm very much a tally on patterns person, and I use my amazing planner, and oh yes, so I got these. And then, so I'm using the Batty one at the moment. I got some yarn. I got 3 sweater quantities of yarn. Not high price, not indie dyed, but I will show those to you on Friday. So in just a couple of days in my normal weekly episode. Oh, sorry, I wobbled the camera. But I will show you something else that I got. And I got this yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it Monday? When did I cycle? Monday. I went out for a bike ride with Abby back to TK Maxx, and I got this in there in TK Maxx. So this is meant to be for a gift wrapping station or whatever. So decorative ribbons, 64 meters. It's just cotton cord. Now I'm going to use this possibly for gift wrapping, I don't know, but I bought this for balls of yarn like this, and they just sit on it and it moves. Brilliant. They've been around for years and years. I can't remember what the name is. It's a knitting dolly or something like that. But yeah, so it was £6. It's Indian wood. I think it's mango wood. I can't remember. I took all the labels off the bottom. But it's made in India and it's lovely. So now I don't have to wind up these balls into cakes because they run away. Now if you knit with balls like this, you know that they just sort of dance. Even if you've got them in a yarn bowl, they still do it. So I tend to wind everything like this into a cake just so that it's centre pull. But now I don't have to do that anymore. So yes. So I love it. Right. I am gonna crack on with my day, get some more knitting in, and I will catch up with you later. Hiya. So I've had to come into the bedroom for sound reasons that you just saw inserted. It is like that most days. I can still hear it going on from the back of the house, and it's now 4:15. They started at about 7:45 this morning, and they go about 12 hours. They have been building some sort of shed, room, whatever. There's new people moved in across the road back in July, and it has taken weeks. It should have only taken a couple of days. I think it's just, I don't think about it, it's too much. So I have brought some knitting in, and I'm going to watch some Critical Role in the bedroom and just relax. I've got Navi and Joey with me, and